This here is my X Pro sport bike. I'm gonna give this thing the full treatment today. I'm gonna give it a front and rear cam installation, hardwired. It's a nice little upgrade. I'm gonna show you how to do it yourself. So first off, I wanna take the front screen. I'm gonna install it right there. And of course, I'm gonna have a rear cam as well. I'm gonna put that right back in there. So I'm gonna show you how to run the wiring and do a simple installation you can do by yourself without hiring a professional. Let's see what I'm going to be putting in. Here's the products. Basically, this one here is the new camera that I got from Rove. It's an R2-RK, which is for the definition of the quality, 4K dual. It has an app which you can connect to and get all your recordings on the cloud. Built-in front camera right here with GPS. Also, it comes with this photo sensor lens cover, which gives you more sharper, less, brightness issues, especially in an installation like this where you're going to be on the street bouncing around in the sun. Hardwire kit, so I can connect the USB output to this, and you can independently control how you want it to be recording, whether it be full-time, on-off, key, accessory, whatever it is. This will allow you to do all of that. Basic windshield mount for that, nothing happening exciting there. This we will not be using because we're going to be hardwiring it. Then I got the extension cable, which is going to go from this main unit to this rear cam, which is going to be connected in junction. So you got the rear 180, you get the front 180, put them together, you got a nice 360 system. And all these other goodies, which they're always just so generous with all the little goodies, I love it. But this thing is a treasure. I love this thing. Very simple to use, not a lot of complicated wiring here at all to deal with, as you'll see in a second. I don't know what kind of bike you own personally, but on mine there's a key on the side. So you can pop up the seat, and there's where your battery is and your electronics and stuff like that go. I'm using this Allen wrench, which is basically gonna give me access to the side. And that's pretty much the money shot right there. Once you can get from the back through the center here, you could basically fish from there to the top. That's all I need. So here's the wiring on mine. Now my kit is probably as complicated as it could possibly get, so it's a good example for anybody who's installing one. Normally, you're just gonna have one that's gonna have either this or plus and minus wires. Like in mine, you see there's 3 wires. Red goes to constant, yellow is a keyed accessory wire, and then you have the black for ground, right? And it even tells you that on here. My kit goes a step further, and it comes with these little adapters with built-in fuse holders, which is pretty cool. Not that I'm gonna make use of it, but in a vehicle you would use it because this bike does not have a fuse box. So that's not really helpful. However, I'm gonna use these, I'm gonna put my own little fuse holder in there, and once you connect these at the vehicle, this little plug, this USB-C, plugs right into the USB-C on the main unit. Then the other one runs out, it's a slave output to the rear cam, and voila, the wiring is done. Nothing scary going on here. Okay, so the way you want to do this is just go up to your bike, turn your key to the on position. Now for my kit, it came with this little test light. You will need something like this, whether it be a dollar store test light, it has to be something, a multimeter, whatever you got. Connect it to ground. Any ground chassis is good. Any metal on metal vehicle component is going to be great for your ground, or you can just go right to the battery post if that's how you want to do it. But in here, most motorcycles, there's an extra plug here, which is designed to plug into basically any alarm in the world, from my experience. And you can see this one lights up when I connect to it. That's 12 volts, and I think the other one was over here, right? So remember, this one here and this one here both have 12 volts. Now when I turn my key off, this one here went low to ground. And this one here is still at 12 volts. So this one here, the red is my constant, and over here, my black is my accessory turn-on wire to my dash cam. Once I make those 3 connections, the rest is simple. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this mess here for in there tentatively, clean it up later. So right now, this here is my battery constant power. Now I was gonna make my own fuse holders, but I realized that there was fuse holders already on the battery right here. So I already got an insulated male terminal on here. So I'm just gonna take my pliers. I'm gonna connect onto the fuse side of the power that's constant from the battery. So there's my T-tap for my constant power. So red goes to red. That's how that T-tap works. And then we have one left in here somewhere, which is my yellow. And yellow, I have to make a little fuse holder. And I'm going to connect that guy to this black wire here, which is switched at my key. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make my own little fuse holder, because I need a 5 amp fuse holder, and I don't have one exactly the way I want it to be. Since these wires are so thin, I can't really crimp anything of size on there, so I'm going to use these little adapters that were in the hardwire kit, and I'm going to improvise. So with that with that insulated female right there, I'm just going to put my fuse in there like that. Then I'm going to take this guy, put another insulated female on that side, crimp that on there. And voila, there's a fuse holder. Now I have my male insulated here. Take my other T-tap. And then we're going to connect that to the black wire in this auxiliary plug, which is my accessory key source from the key. Give me a little trouble there, huh? Okay. Okay, you got it click. So we're good to go. So we could just take this, take that T-tap and slide that in there. So now this is fused, the ground is on there, everything is good. All I gotta do now is plug in my camera, give it a quick test, and then we can run out the cables to the front and the rear and get it wrapped up. All right, so the key is on, the wires are done. Plug that guy in there, we should have power. And we do. So when I turn my key off, after this thing initializes it, it should go out.
Please format the memory card before first time use.
No. And that's it. That's the way you want it to work. And on here, which is another really cool feature, it has a sensing feature which will automatically turn this thing off from recording in parking lot mode when it goes lower than any one of these voltages. I have mine set for 12 volts even, which is terrific. Another reason why I love this little gadget. So cool. And the rest is just two USB-Cs, one to the front, one to the rear. That's it. That's what you want to do is, if you have the same kind of deal where you have a front for power and a rear camera, I basically take the two and I run them down in some split loom tubing. I run them down so that way I can have them protect from the heat. And I kind of guesstimate where they're going to leave off, and I leave a little bit of extra slack so I can go back in here, tighten it all up, zip tie everything, then I can complete it with the rear cam, test it, set it up, and I'm done. So I got it mounted. I was going to use a suction cup, but that didn't work out because of the concave shape of the windshield, so I went with the stick-on adhesive. And of course, when I got the two cables running down, there was no neat way to do it. So what I did is I kind of show you what happened here. I kind of just wrapped them up in the shrink tubing, and I used these cable clamps. You see there's one there, and I attached onto the screw in the dash, and there's another one right there. Then I ran it down through here, of course. You see it comes out right here, right up to my battery area. I'm just gonna tuck all that stuff in and zip tie it and finish with my camera in the back. I just finished running the rear camera, which is back in here. Boop. See that? Keeping an eye on you, Vella. So that's just running up back through here. I used some flashing tape, which is ultra sticky. I drill a hole with the unibit back through here. Just take this, put that back together. All this stuff is all tightened up. I just have to put the seat back on there. This is all zipped up. I'm gonna put the lights and the key on. This is what we got.
Parking mode.
Recording parking mode is stopped. It's active because the key is on. You see that there's a front camera there. This right here on the top right, that's the rear camera. All right, and then when I turn it off, it'll do 3 minutes of recording.
Stopped. Entering parking mode.
And on G sensing and motion, it'll record the parking monitor. So it's protected when I am away, and it's got this little LED right there, which will continue blinking when the screen dies out in a second like that. See that? Yeah, there it is. So it's there. Key on. And that's how we do it.
Turning off parking mode. Recording stopped. Recording started.
So there you have it, folks. There's a Rove 4K front and rear. This thing's pretty wild.
Video mode.
I still have to set up the
Recording
app
started.
and connect that to the Wi-Fi on my phone, which
Wi-Fi
I'll do
is on.
tomorrow when I got nothing else to do at work or something. But there you go, man. It's a nice little system. This company really makes some good products. I really recommend them. They make such nice stuff. Obviously, if it's going on my own bike, what does that tell you? So until next time.